For Daily Ask Reddit, what are dark secrets about the porn industry that people should know? I know a girl who did some porn, and she started doing it when she was only a teenager, except all her videos were labeled 18+. Edit. She started doing porn at 16, and they just lied and said she was 18+ in her videos, even though she was underage. The grooming and locking. If you've never heard of locking, it's basically when a group of girls doing porn are living together, typically, and they are pressured to spend their money by producers who claim to be their friends. The goal here is to diminish any sort of saving money thought process, and they make it out like the money will never stop coming. This keeps them broke and making doing more shoots. Edit. Just wanted to say thanks for the upvotes. Hopefully this will be top comment so more awareness gets out. Grooming doesn't stop because they made a few videos. Lash. The article does a good job of summarizing the way these men sex trafficked women and manipulated them. Go down the rabbit hole, and there are women who have shared their personal experiences with this company. I won't paste names here. These are truly horror stories. I was never particularly anti-porn, but I'm thinking this is more the norm how these content providers work, and visiting those sites now is a real moral mindfuck. One of the lawyers who represented the defendant said amateur porn doesn't make sense economically, and I believe him. You can't pay someone just a few $1,000s for their anonymity unless they are broke, naive, manipulated, trapped, cheated, lied to, etc. This really affected me. Oh, I also used to drive some exotic dancers 2 or 3 cities to do regular doctor appointments. They never felt safe going local because they always get recognized and people get creepy. Not sure if that counts as porn industry, but I'd imagine the same rules apply. Many of the 18-year porn stars were recruited when they were 16 or 17. I vacationed in San Diego when I was 17 and was recruited for modeling by a very attractive and seductive young woman at the beach. I went to the office building she told me to go to, a high-rise next to a highway. In reception I walked out. Casting couch type atmosphere and models as the staff. My story ends there. A trafficked 15-year-old was found on the hub. Almost 100 videos. She was verified by the hub while trafficked. There are so many videos on free sites that the producers are unverified. I would be willing to bet there are a lot of underage photos anywhere that allow this type of behavior. Hell, my friend claimed she had been posting nudes to GW since she was in 9th grade at the age of 14. I had to tell a friend back in HS that she showed up in a BJ compilation. She met a couple college guys that drove her around in a van getting drunk until they convinced her to blow them all. Somewhere in there they decided to record a drunk 15-year-old going down on them. She never pressed charges. And I only saw it because my GF at the time and her friend thought it would be funny to look up porn videos, so I had no idea where they even found it. If you have any 80s VHS tapes of Traci Lords, you could potentially be in possession of child porn. She used fake identification and was 16 when she began filming, and may have even been as young as 15. A lot of British tabloid papers had 16-year-old page 3 girls modeling topless. This was legal until 2003. Some newspapers even featured special 16th birthday shoots. These were national papers available in every shop and delivered through litter boxes. They were in cafes and hotel lobbies. The whole tons of Viagra thing is absolutely true, and so is the bit about casting directors playing fast and loose with STDs. I have a friend that once turned down a shoot for a gay porn at a campground because none of the actors were required to be tested beforehand. A few of them ended up contracting HIV from that shoot. You could tell all the guys during the late 90s early 2000s were jacked up on steroids and Viagra. Eric Everhead is a great example. The guys were built like football players. They had tiny, shriveled up testicles from the roids and their chests and faces were super red from Viagra. They all looked like they had sunburns on their chest, necks and face. That was a Viagra flush.